We started the broadcast. Major changes at GFD and action taken at Adelup today to stop the hemorrhaging at the Guam Fire Department. A new chief has now been appointed and a certificate of emergency procurement has been signed, as we said, to expeditiously secure more ambulances.
Joining us now live on the line, Acting Governor Ray Tenorio and Acting Fire Chief Joey San Nicolas. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you very much, Bree.
Acting Governor, let's start with you, and if you could please describe what is the difference between a state of emergency and a certificate of emergency, and why not just declare a state of emergency?
Well, a certificate of emergency is needed to be able to procure the ambulance services. The state of emergency, I believe, will allow $250,000 to be transferred for the purpose of procuring these services. Essentially, the government's financial situation is such that there's not a lot of latitude. We also want to express, of course, our regrets to the family and assure the island that public safety, of course, is our top priority. We've been working very closely with the new appointed chief, Joey San Nicolas, to make sure that with the limited budgets that they have, that they're able to keep those fleet ambulances online. Today I met, of course, with Senator Palacios and Senator Rodriguez, as well as GSA and our legal counsel. And we're going to the process of getting the procurement done. Tomorrow there's going to be an RFP put out that's going to be looking at the purchase of 4 ambulances. Now, according to the Fire Chief, Joey San Nicolas, it would take, a best-case scenario, 45 days for those to come into place. As you know, the governor has already directed that all funds that can be made available for the repair and in parts and labor be available, and the finance people are going to make sure that that's done. And we're also going to be marshaling the expertise of all of our mechanics to ensure that every mechanic that can be put to task from our government to repair these ambulances and the parts be procured, because we are not going to, and we've been working very hard to make sure that this crisis point didn't get to this, but we're all facing these challenges together, and we're committed to making sure that in the future you will not see this ever happen again.
Acting Governor, you mentioned the RFP going out tomorrow using the DOI monies to buy new medics. But what about Senator Rodriguez's comments suggesting in terms of going back to Adelup's original plan of leasing private medics? He said that you can't put a price tag on saving lives. Is this something that you guys are also looking at?
Absolutely. That's why the emergency procurement was what I signed off for today, so that we can make sure that GSA has the authority. The fire chief presented the declaration of his condition, and I agreed with the conditions, and therefore the emergency procurement is for the purpose of leasing ambulances so that we make sure that we have as many as available. My concern is that many of those ambulances that are out there are already being put to work by the private sector and may not be available, and therefore I'm glad that the senators also agree that life is actually, of course, precious. But we need the financial resources to make sure that we can put to those reasons, whether it be parts or mechanics or for the leasing of vehicles. So, I'm working with Senator Dennis Rodriguez and Adolfo Palacios, and I ask all the other senators to assist us, because one of our goals is to allow for ambulances to respond directly to emergencies and be able to take people to get care.
Okay, well, speaking of Joey San Nicolas, he, of course, joins us on the line as well, as you saw in that graphic. So let's go ahead and bring in the man whose head appropriately now wears the crown, as it were. So, Joey, you've been with the agency for several years now. You've got years of experience in GFD. And, of course, Senator Adolfo Palacios, who, of course, has oversight over public safety, has blamed and he's fingered GFD leadership for such problems. Is he on point with that statement? And if not, who really is to blame for the various problems that face the Guam Fire Department at this time?
Well, first of all, Jason, Sabrina, thank you for having me tonight on this program. Just to be clear, I'm not going to focus on the past or how we got here, but focus on what we have now and how we're going to move forward. A lot of good people are hard at work to try to get things done and to make sure that this incident or issue doesn't happen again. And that's how we're going to move forward, and we'll just take it from there.
In your opinion, Joey, is the Guam Fire Department in a state of emergency?
Well, we definitely do have an emergency situation on our hands, obviously. Otherwise, we wouldn't be talking about this today. But rest assured, there are solutions that are in effect. They're on the way, and within short time, this issue should be a thing of the past.
Okay, and gentlemen, and toss-up question to the both of you, I guess, for this next one. The question that everybody in our tight-knit island community wants to know: when are we going to see some ambulances rolling on Guam streets? Do you have a ETA for that?
Well, we have several parallel efforts going on. Right now, as we speak, we do have 5 ambulances on the road. And as far as immediately, we're still waiting on the actual release of one ambulance that we just purchased a couple weeks ago through GSA, as well as getting this DOI, emergency DOI funds to purchase the 4. Inclusive of that is we're working really hard with other agencies. The administration has put focus on us and detailed some of the other agencies to assist us as far as mechanical help with GPD, DPW, and the Port Authority stepping up to the plate. For the past 2 weeks, they've been assisting us and helping us to get our current fleet up and running, as well as to ensure that the procurement of parts happens expeditiously.
Joe, you're taking on this new role at such a critical time. Why did you decide to take the job, and what are your plans for GFD long term?
Well, first of all, this is a long-term goal for me. It did come up pretty quick, but I think it is necessary. I've been asked by many, both inside and outside the department, to step up, and I believe I'm in a position to do so, and I will say that the buck stops here.
Any final comments?
Only that I look forward to this adventure. It is going to be an uphill battle, but I believe the administration is supporting the Guam Fire Department 100%, to include that of the legislature. And I think together as a team we're going to move forward and address the situation.